to feel this is their year. They must be playing defensive. Schmeichel's not coming up for this one. Thinks he's done enough. Is this their moment? It's a Sheringham, and Solskjaer has won it! Manchester United have reached the promised land. Ole Solskjaer, 2 substitutes, have scored the 2 goals in stoppage time. 4, and the treble looms large.
1. Hello and welcome to the United Community Channel, and this is your latest Manchester United news in what is a very, very, I suppose, important update for Manchester United and the summer transfer window. Obviously, look, the big news that we're talking about today, for anybody who can see it on YouTube, on the thumbnail, is Bellingham. And Manchester United are being linked with Jude Bellingham. They've entered the race to sign Jude Bellingham. So we're going to talk about that as well. Obviously, there's going to be big competition for him. But we'll discuss that. Talks on another midfielder as Manchester United look to improve that area as well. And a Brighton midfielder, I think we all know who we're talking about there. Manchester United seem to be in the driver's seat if they wanted to go and get that deal done as well. So we'll talk about that as well. And we'll also talk about the updates on the takeover of Manchester United as a third bid is going to be needed before the Glazers make up their mind on it as well. So look, we'll get into it, guys. Get your thoughts into the comment section as well. Let me know what you're thinking as we go. Sherbert is in as well. Good to see you, pal. He's a United fan. Thanks for joining. You're more than welcome. But look, I mean, let's dive straight into it. And, where else are we going to start other than Jude Bellingham? And reports have suggested in the last 24 hours or so that Manchester United have entered the race to sign Bellingham this summer. And look, I mean, it's big news. It's big news. Obviously, we know Jude Bellingham is going to be targeted by, the majority of, the big clubs in Europe. So it's going to be interesting to see how we get on. Now, initial reports are suggesting that obviously Manchester United are in for him. As we can see on the screen here, United are on course to be financially reinforced by a return to the Champions League as well. So obviously top 4 is going to be vitally important, not just in relation to a financial standpoint, but if you're going to be attracting players like Jude Bellingham to your club, you have to be in the Champions League. You really, really do. And look, we've seen here as well, Manchester United receive a huge transfer boost as Liverpool pull out of the race to sign Jude Bellingham. Anybody on TikTok, we're live on YouTube at the moment as well, and we've got all of these news snippets on the screen. So if you want to come over and check it out, link is on the homepage. So yeah, as you can see here, Manchester United receive a huge boost as Liverpool pull out of the race to sign Jude Bellingham. Now, we've just spoken about top 4. And I think top 4 in Jude Bellingham's mind is vitally important. He wants to be playing in the Champions League. Now, is it a coincidence that Jude Bellingham and the links between him and Liverpool have all of a sudden ended now that Liverpool look pretty much unlikely to make top 4? Now, the report coming out from Liverpool is that they don't want to spend 100 million on one player when they are going to need more than one signing in the summer, on the back of a poor season for them. So look, I mean, it is going to be interesting to see. Now, and it's kind of funny to see a lot of the Liverpool fans. They have been absolutely convinced that Jude Bellingham is signing for them this summer ever since he was cozying up to Henderson and Trent at the World Cup. Liverpool fans just went ballistic, and so look, it doesn't look like that's happening anymore now. In relation to other clubs, different kind of reports coming out today suggesting that Jude Bellingham doesn't want to sign for certain clubs. Now, as we can see here, this is coming from the Madrid zone. Chelsea and PSG want Jude Bellingham also, but he does not want to join them. Real Madrid and the 2 Manchester clubs are still in the race. Okay, so that's obviously good news for Manchester United. And a further report then, which is coming out from Bild, this is in Germany. Jude Bellingham has ruled out joining Manchester City, PSG, and Chelsea. So you can add Manchester City to that list. The England midfielder wants to play for a prestigious club with values like passion, honour and reputation rather than money. Now, if you're talking about a club with passion, honour and reputation, there's only two left. There really is only two left. If these reports are to be believed, and he wants to play for a club with all of these boxes ticked, you're talking Real Madrid and Manchester United. If this report is suggesting that City, PSG and Chelsea are out, the other report then suggests, as we've seen, that PSG, Real Madrid, Chelsea, Real Madrid are still in. So, look, if we're to put these two reports together and he wants to play for a club with passion, honour, prestige, there's two left. It's Real Madrid and it's Manchester United. So, look, I think there's going to be a lot of twists and turns in this yet as the weeks and months go on into the transfer window. But I think the fact that Manchester United are being linked with him so early, look, we did have that failed attempt to sign him a few years ago before he went to Borussia Dortmund. And if I'm being completely honest, I think he did make the right move at the time. We were not in a position to, I suppose, offer him success in relation to challenging for titles and Champions Leagues. And, you know, we didn't really have the infrastructure in place for him to improve as a player. But now I think with Erik ten Hag there, a manager that is, renowned for improving players and young talent and bringing them through and progressing them. And, we know how, how much he's improved us this season and the demands he sets and the expectations. I think Manchester United, if Bellingham decides to go there, would be a perfect fit for him. I think it really would. I think he would be able to improve under Ten Hag. He would be, the face of Manchester United going forward. And if we are to go on and win a league title in the next few years or Champions Leagues or whatever it may be, he would be seen as that, pivotal signing that brought us over the line. So, look, I do think there's a lot of attractive reasons for Jude Bellingham to sign for Manchester United. And also there is attractive reasons for him to go to the likes of a Real Madrid. If you have, Camavinga, Tchouaméni and Jude Bellingham playing in your midfield for Madrid over the next 5 years, it's over. It's game over. It's like FIFA completed, if he signs. So, look, he's got all of the options. He's got all the cards. It's his decision. He's going to do what he wants to do. But I certainly do think Manchester United are in with a shout for him. Now, we're going to get on to the ownership of Manchester United and the potential, new owners coming in and all of that as well. But when we're being linked with a player like Jude Bellingham like this, I think it's vitally important that these kind of things in the background get sorted out as quick as possible. The last thing we want is to drag this, I suppose, circus of Manchester United selling the club and getting new owners on for as long as possible, because if that happens, then our transfer plans in the summer are going to go out the window, and we'll get onto that in a moment. But look, I think it's really nice to see that Manchester United are being heavily linked. It's even nicer to see the likes of Liverpool have pulled out of the race for him. But look, I mean, that's just United Liverpool fans, and a bit of banter and stuff like that as well. But let's see what people are saying in the comment section here. It's great news. Jude would be great for us, says the Crazy Irishman. Sherbert says if he wants to join Man United, he can. He would be better in Man U. He's obviously a PSG fan, given his profile picture there. Ronan says, as a Liverpool fan, I've seen the title of this stream and nearly had a heart attack. If Liverpool spent 2 years chasing Bellingham for him to end up at United. Look, I understand, Ronan, if I was a Liverpool fan, it would be the same. It really would. And look, Liverpool are out of the race by all accounts. But, reports, a lot of different outlets are reporting it as well. I think if he does come back to England, it's probably going to be Manchester United. If all of these reports that we've just gone through are to be believed and we put them all together, he's basically narrowed it down to Manchester United and Real Madrid. But look, we don't know. Look, we don't know these kind of reports are very early. The transfer window hasn't opened yet. I would be surprised if Bellingham has even made up his mind yet. So look, he's probably concentrating on finishing out the season with Dortmund. But look, it's going to be interesting to see. It really is. Finn says, I'm thinking of a Jude Bellingham song if we get him based on the Beatles song Hey Jude. It nearly writes itself. It certainly does. It certainly does. But look, I mean, the fact that United are being linked with these types of players is good again. But going back to what I said, I think it's vital that we do get Champions League football if we are to be attracting these types of players. Let's see what people are saying on TikTok here. Michael says, as Neville has the Glazers want 1 billion each. There are 5 family members. How much would he cost? Says Christian. Yeah, well, we're looking at £100 million minimum. You know what I mean? So, I mean, he's got some time left on his contract. So, you know, Borussia Dortmund do hold the majority of the cards. You know, they really do. Ben says, you need proper striker, experienced Harry Kane. Yeah, well, look, that United are being linked with him as well. So a summer transfer window of Harry Kane, Jude Bellingham, you know, maybe an Evan Ferguson and another centre-back. I mean, that would just be ideal. I don't think that would happen, but let's see. OC says, are we actually linked, Bellingham, or just the usual stories that go around for us being linked? Well, look, that does have to be taken into consideration as well. Manchester United do tend to get linked with an awful lot of players. The fact that we're being linked with them so early on, and that these reports not only are linking Manchester United with them, but they're also, I suppose, ending links between the likes of Liverpool, Man City, Chelsea. And these are not coming from UK sources. You know, one is a Madrid source and the other one is a German source in relation to Bild. So the right noises are being sounded out from the right areas. I'm sure the UK press will pick up on it once, I suppose they would confirm sources and things like that. But then the right noises are being made. That will happen, says Mark. This is revenge for Gakpo, says Liam. They can have Gakpo if we get Bellingham, so they can. Podge says, I'd rather a ball-playing player. I'd be honest, Jude Bellingham is an all-round player. I think you go to Real Madrid, says Michael. Well, look, when Real Madrid are in for a player that you're in for as well, they tend to be favourites. They really do. But, look, Bellingham is an English player. Does he want to come back and you know, spend 4 or 5 years in England and then maybe do the Madrid kind of thing? I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see. I mean, if he's going to play in La Liga, if he's going to play for Real Madrid, he's going to play to win the Champions League, you know, because obviously the Premier League is the top league in the world, and La Liga is way short of that. You have your El Clásicos every year, which are, you know, fantastic spectacles, but you know, when you think about the likes of Real Madrid and Barcelona these days, it's in the Champions League more than anything else. John says ownership is now critical to get sorted. Absolutely. And Mark says you need upward of 500 million for a decent summer spend. I wouldn't go as far as 500 million. I mean, if you're getting Bellingham for 100, Kane for 70, you know, and then maybe an Evan Ferguson, a Frimpong, you could get them for maybe 50 million between the two of them. I would think maybe 200 million, 220 million maybe. I think it'd be a decent summer. And again, look, if Qatari ownership is to come in, then who knows? Let's see. Tarek says Jude Bellingham will be one of the best players in the world if he joins Manchester United. Liam says if he wanted United, he would have signed with us before signing for Dortmund. That's not true, Liam, because it's a completely different club. It's a different manager. It's a different direction that we're going in. It's a different atmosphere. It's different players. It's just night and day. When United wanted him 2 or 3 years ago, you know, we went absolutely nowhere. And look at where we are now in comparison to then. So I think it's, I can't agree with you on that one, I'm afraid. Have we stopped trying to get Osman, says Lewis? Well, look, we don't know. Look, I'm sure United will be in there for him, you know, depending on how things go with Kane and things like that. But you're not going to put all your eggs in one basket. Let's see. And Tarek says, Jude Bellingham will be one of the best players in the world. Oh, yeah, we read that one out as well. He's coming over from TikTok. So, yeah, look, let's move it on to another midfielder, guys, that Manchester United have been linked with. And this could be seen potentially as an alternative option to Jude Bellingham. And, of course, it is Brighton's Alexis McAllister. Brighton to be blown out of the water by Manchester United. Manchester United's Alexis McAllister interest. Now, this is according to the Manchester Evening News. Now, look, obviously we know he's having a really, really good season at the moment. He's won the World Cup. He's a pivotal role. He's played a pivotal role in that Argentinian squad. And of course he is doing, the exact same in the Brighton squad as well. They're having a fantastic season also. Now, reports are suggesting that he's currently on €50,000 per week currently. So, these reports are also suggesting that Manchester United would be able to dwarf that figure, as you can see here. Now, look, he's a fantastic footballer, and I would be delighted to see him sign for Manchester United. There hasn't really been a figure put out there for him. You're buying a World Cup winner. You're not going to get him cheap. He's a proven Premier League player also in a really successful team in relation to Brighton and what they've been doing this season. So I don't think we're going to be getting him cheap. I think you're talking probably 50 to 60 million maybe. And we are going to face competition for him as well. Look, United do face competition from Liverpool and Chelsea. So, look, I mean, the more good performances players like him put in, the harder it becomes and the more you're going to pay for him. But look, I certainly do think he is a good maybe alternative to the likes of a Jude Bellingham, where you could get him cheaper, depending on the kind of transfer budget limits that you may be having throughout the summer. United are not going to have unlimited money to spend, given the fact that we did spend quite a lot last summer, and we also didn't sell an awful lot of players either. So I don't have any worries of Manchester United, coming close to breaking financial fair play rules. But I do think we're going to have to trim the herd and get rid of some of the deadwood this summer if we are to bulk up the squad. And look, I do think, and I'm going to be saying this an awful lot over the coming weeks and months, and I did say it last summer as well, I think not only is quality important in the summer, but I think quantity is important. Quality is always going to be more important than quantity, because you don't want to be signing a bunch of pigeons, but you do have to get that balance right, because Manchester United are going to be looking at selling 5, 6, 7, 8 players probably this summer and letting a few go and trimming the herd and all of that. If we are going to be getting players in, we probably want 2 strikers, another midfielder, another centre-back, a right-back, a goalkeeper to challenge De Gea. That's 6 players. Whether we can go out and get 6 players or not, that's another thing. But you need to get that balance right between quantity and quality. So, look, I mean, I'm happy that United are being linked with alternative options. The last thing we want to see is United to do another De Jong on it. Spend all summer chasing a De Jong or a Bellingham or a Kane or an Osimhen, putting all your eggs in one basket. And then, a week or 2 before the pre-season starts, Erik ten Hag is going, where the bloody hell is my squad? And then you have to go out and, pay over the top for an Anthony or a Martinez, so while the likes of Martinez and Anthony are good players, I still think we overpaid for them. So I think we need to be smarter in the transfer window this summer. I'm sure Erik ten Hag wants and has his list of players that he wants, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, and it's down to the board now to go out and get them and get the job done. And I think that's why it's important that we have we have this situation about the takeover of Manchester United completed as quickly as possible. But look, I'm happy to see us being linked with the likes of McAllister there as well. And we've seen yesterday the likes of Koku from Feyenoord being linked, who's a fantastic footballer as well. So the right noises are being made. So I'm happy with that. Let's see what people are saying here on TikTok. Jock says Kane, Bellingham and Ferguson. Yep, absolutely. Martin doesn't want Kane. Mikhail says Aaron Wan-Bissaka is one of the best right backs in the Prem. He gets so much hate. I like him. Yep, I like him. Absolutely. Mr. V says, yeah, man, we can't settle for 3rd, 4th best. And Thomas is in there as well. He says, morning, good to see you guys. Make sure you smash the like button if you're new to the channel. Hit the follow button. Anybody on TikTok, if you want the full experience, we're live on YouTube. We're putting up all of the articles on the screen. So if you want to come over and check it out, link is on the homepage. We're live over there every morning as well. But let's move it on, guys, to the takeover of Manchester United. And obviously some updates in the last 24 hours or so. and we'll put it up on the screen here on YouTube. A third round of bids for Manchester United is set to take place. Fresh offers are due before the end of the month. Now, this is coming from Mike Keegan, and he's from the Daily Mail. And look, there's been numerous outlets reporting it here as well. It's what we probably expected. We didn't really want to hear, but we expected to hear that a third round of bids were probably likely. And I think it's obviously this is going to drag out the process even more. But I mean, were any of us really expecting the Glazers to accept a second round bid when the first round was kind of a preliminary bid? I didn't think so. I think this will be the final bid. I really do. And so obviously, you know, we've seen bids go in a couple of weeks ago. The Glazers can come back now and say, no, we want more, we want less, negotiation tactics, so on and so forth. And as it says here, the third round of bids for Manchester United means that there will have to be a rapid progress for a new owner to be in place for the forthcoming transfer window. This is the worry, isn't it? From Manchester United fans, this is the worry. The fact that this process is being dragged out with another round of bidding, and the bids have to be in by the end of the month, that means that, you know, the Glazers will probably take 3 to 4 weeks to make up their mind. That's the end of May. The window is opening the end, you know, June. I mean, it's going to be a quick turnaround. It really is. And I don't know. I mean, if the owners are decided by the end of May, let's say, for example, you know, the Glazers decide to sell it to Qatar. The second that they can decide to sell it to Qatar, can Qatar go, right, boys, we're in. We'll see you in 3 weeks' time when we're officially the owners, but go and buy whoever you want. You know, get the board members in, get the manager in. What's your plan going forward? We're not officially the owners yet, but what's your plan going forward? Who do you want? What do you want to spend? We've got you covered. I don't know if that's the process. If they're legally allowed to do that, I'm not sure. But the longer this process drags on, the less lead time we're going to get on signing transfers in the summer, I think. So as it says here also, and this is coming from Matt Lawton in the Times, the deadline for bids for the third and final round, so there we go, final round of sales process has been set for April the 28th. So there we go. The 28th of April, we're looking at, what are we looking at? 16 days time. So it's good to see that there's been a timeline put in place, you know, and, you know, that's what we want to hear as Manchester United fans. So, look, happy days, happy days. Look, we don't want to be negative about it. We don't want to be, you know, looking at the negatives all the time. It's positive. It's positive. And Mike Keegan also says a full sale of Manchester United is still viewed as the most likely outcome, which, again, is music to the ears of Manchester United fans, because we've spent too long now wanting the Glazers to go, you know, and it's time they left. We've had 18 miserable years of ownership from them. It's time that they go. I think we're too far down the line now in terms of this sales process, in terms of, you know, potentially getting rid of them for them to stay on. I think the pressure would be monumental. I don't think they would buckle under the pressure, because there's been a lot of pressure over the last 18 years about them. So, look, I think we're too far down the line for the likes of the Glazers to stay now. I think we will have new owners. It's just the quicker we can get it done, the better. And let's hope that happens as quickly as possible. And also Ben Jacobs here, just to give you an update on what he's saying. If everything goes according to plan in April, an executive period after final offers may not be necessary. A short one is possible, as we saw with the Chelsea sale, but it may not be essential if everything goes smoothly. Okay, so these are all positive, you know, snippets that we're hearing. And it's what we want to hear as fans. It really is. It's what we want to hear as fans. The quicker we can get the sale of Manchester United completed, the quicker we can focus on summer transfer windows and guys like him, you know. So, it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the summer. It really is. But it's an exciting time as Manchester United fans. You know, we're being linked with the right players. We've got the right manager. He's bringing us in the right direction. You know, we've got an exciting end to this season. We've got a trophy in the bag. We're on for 2 more. It's going to be difficult. But could you imagine, and I just kind of, I was watching Manchester City and Bayern Munich last night, and the narrative has switched now from Arsenal going to win the league to City potentially winning a treble. And the treble is on for City, and it's a relatively realistic goal for them. The bookies have Manchester City at 4-1 to win the treble. 4-1. That is tiny odds. So the bookies are not writing them out at all, writing them off at all. Could you imagine Manchester United going up against Manchester City in the FA Cup final, knowing potentially that if we beat them, we'll end their chances of winning a treble? I mean, Manchester United would have to, and whoever's playing that day would literally have to go out on that field and die to win that game. They really would have to die to win that game, and rightly so, because the treble is on for City, and it's worrying as a Manchester United fan. But we have a chance, if we do get to the FA Cup final, obviously we're on the opposite side of the draw, to end that. That would be monumental, and what a game it would be. But yeah, I mean, it's we're going in the right direction, and it's an exciting time to be a Manchester United fan. It really is, and I'm delighted. Well, let's run through some of the comments here. Twig says, I don't want Jude Bellingham, to be honest. He says he's a great player, but we have good midfield depth. Oh, I don't know about that, Twigs. I'd much prefer to get rid of a Scott McTominay and get in a Jude Bellingham, to be quite honest with you. Mickey says, only way we're getting Bellingham is if Qatar complete the purchase of the club. He would be a great addition, but we need so many more positions covered, and Dortmund going to stronghold any club for him. Yeah, I think we're looking at about 100 million for him, Mickey. So look, he's not going to come cheap. But like you said, if Qatar comes in and the money is there, then let's see what happens. Jack says, is Bellingham coming? Yeah, we just discussed it. We don't know yet. Early reports are suggesting it's United are in the mix with the likes of Real Madrid for him. So let's see what happens. Evan says, do you reckon you could win the Europa League? Yeah, I think we have a good chance of winning the Europa League. I do. I certainly do. But I think we're going to be coming up, if we do get over Sevilla tomorrow night, and in the quarterfinals in general, we're looking at Juventus in the semi-final if they get there as well. So it's not going to be easy. Michael says, if all looks good, we just need the right owners. Support Ten Hag, new stadium, all amazing. Yeah. Exciting times to be a Manchester United fan. Really is. And Mickey says, Liverpool apparently pulled out for the Bellingham. Yeah, we mentioned it as well. Yeah, Liverpool are gone out, which makes it even sweeter, Mickey. But look, guys, we're going to end it there. I appreciate everyone jumping on. I have my match preview coming up in the afternoon. I'll be uploading it at 2:00. So check it out if you want. We'll be running through my predicted 11. Some news about Casemiro coming back, Rashford being injured, score predictions, all of that kind of stuff. That'll be up from 2:00. And of course, we're going to be back tomorrow night then for the watch along against Sevilla. Huge game at Old Trafford, under the lights, European game, quarterfinal. Let's hope we can get a good positive result. If you're new to the channel on TikTok, please hit the follow button. If you're watching on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. If you're new to the channel, closing in on 3,000 subscribers. Give the video a thumbs up if you haven't already done so. I appreciate everyone who already has. And let me see, what day is tomorrow? Yeah, we'll be back tomorrow morning with a news show again. So match preview is being uploaded at 2 p.m. today. Maybe not do a watch along tonight for Real Madrid and Chelsea. Keep an eye out on the YouTube channel for it. So anybody on TikTok, make sure you're subscribing to the YouTube channel. Link is on the homepage. So I may do a watch along for that tonight, but we'll be back in the morning again with a news show, and we'll be back for the watch along tomorrow night, United and Sevilla. Appreciate everyone watching, guys. Thanks for hitting the like, subscribe button. And yeah, I'll catch you later. Take care.